Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to AM News on Global TV, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Anieti Patrick. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channels 276. Now in the news. President Bola Tinubu has sacked Chief of Defense Staff General Christopher Musa and some other service chiefs. A statement by Sunday Dare, Special Advisor to the President on Media and Public Communications, says General Musa was replaced by General Olufemi Oluyede, who until the new appointment was the Chief of Army Staff. Dare noted that President Tinubu has made changes in hierarchy of the service chiefs in furtherance of the efforts of the federal government of Nigeria to strengthen the national security architecture. The Federal Capital Territory Executive Council has approved a series of key projects aimed at improving infrastructure, education, healthcare, and youth empowerment across the nation's capital. The decisions were reached during the 50th Executive Council meeting chaired by Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. Here's Kabir Hassan with more.
A total of 33 memoranda were presented for consideration. Out of 14 involved award of contracts and 8 for ratification. All received the Council's approval. In the health sector, the Council approved the provision of 12 fully equipped ambulances to strengthen emergency response services across the territory.
Today at the Executive Council meeting, a contract has been ratified, and I am very pleased to say for the first time in about 9 years, FCT will get 12 brand new ambulances.
In the education sector, approval was given for the supply of instructional materials to secondary schools aimed at improving effective teaching and learning.
In today's Executive Council meeting, a contract was awarded for the supply of instructional material for WAEC, NECO, and practical materials in 88 number senior secondary school of FCT.
Under infrastructure development, the Council approved the construction of new access roads within Abuja, as well as the extension of service centers, including the Jabi Pump Station, to improve public utilities.
The FCT Executive Committee today approved the award of contract for the alternative access road to the old Federal Secretariat in Durumi, as well as resurfacing of the existing road.
The FCT Executive Committee has approved the extension of service contracts for the operation and maintenance of Jabi Pump Station and servicing of associated sewer lines.
The Council also endorsed the establishment of youth centers to promote entrepreneurship, self-employment, and empowerment programs for young residents of the FCT.
Today at FCT Expo, we were able to approve a memo in respect of complete renovation of Nyanya Youth Center.
In the agricultural sector, farmers are to benefit from fertilizers distribution and other input to boost productivity and contribute to food security. Minister Wike reaffirmed the administration commitment to President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, assuring residents that all approved projects will directly enhance their living standards. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News.
In commemoration of the United Nations World Development Information Day, stakeholders have called for stronger information systems, better data governance, and policies that bridge the persistent gap between knowledge and action. Ubong Usoro reports.
The 2025 United Nations World Development Information Day echoed a clear message that timely, accurate, and accessible information is the backbone of sustainable development. With the theme Information for Development, Bridging Knowledge and Action in Africa, the event brought together educators, policymakers, students, and development experts to examine how Africa can transform knowledge into measurable progress. Stakeholders emphasize that access to quality information remains a key factor in addressing Africa's development challenges, promoting innovation, and achieving sustainable development goals.
When we are talking about development information, what you cannot measure, you cannot assess. You cannot assess the impact of development or information without certain criteria or standards.
Vice Chancellor Miba Open University, Professor Tayo Arulogu, stressed that without reliable information and data, informed decision-making, achieving inclusive growth and sustainable development goals will become a challenge for the continent.
It's not only having information that is very, very important, but taking action, standing for something that will change the society, and so that you can make impact with information.
Also speaking, the head of Department of Public Policy Administration, Professor Sam Oni, said the department is committed to making information the cornerstone of decision-making processes.
So it's very important, it's central to sustainable development, and that is why, for instance, we are gathered here today to actually, disseminate and of course to also reiterate the importance of information.
In a symbolic move towards deeper collaboration, Miba University and AGAF Africa signed a memorandum of understanding aimed at strengthening research, data sharing, and public policy development. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
Intensifying for its national elective convention, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has held a meeting of its Special Duties Subcommittee to ensure operational integrity at the convention. Global TV's political correspondent Ubong Usoro reports.
With less than a month to the PDP National Convention, members of the Special Duties Subcommittee have been charged to ensure the smooth coordination of all subcommittees. Speaking at the inauguration, the chairman of the subcommittee and governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, said the committee is responsible for collecting and scrutinizing budgets from other subcommittees, raising and disbursing funds for the convention, and performing other functions assigned by the convention planning committee.
Coordinate, or part of what you're supposed to do is to coordinate the financial activities of all subcommittees. 2, to collect and consolidate all budget from subcommittee chairperson. And 3, to scrutinize and approve this budget, ensuring judicious use of parties' resources. And number 4, to take the lead in raising the necessary funds for the convention.
As the People's Democratic Party counts down to its national convention in Ibadan, expectations remain high that the Special Duties Subcommittee will play a crucial role in ensuring a successful and hitch-free event. Ubong Usoro, Global Television News, Abuja.
The House of Representatives is demanding answers from the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, over reports that officers manning checkpoints in parts of the southeast and south-south are not properly kitted. This followed a motion of urgent public importance raised by Abia State lawmaker Ibe Osonwa, who described the trend among personnel of the Nigerian Police and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps as alarming and a threat to national security. Here is our correspondent with more. The sponsor of the motion, Ibe Osonwa, described the situation as alarming as it duly undermines public confidence and accountability within the security system.
The House has observed that this gross lack of proper identification at checkpoints creates a dangerous climate of ambiguity, making it virtually impossible for citizens to distinguish between genuine security personnel and criminal impersonators.
Adopting the motion, the House resolved that the Inspector General of Police should appear before the Committee on Police Affairs to explain why the situation persists and what steps are being taken to correct it. In a related development, Ahmed Saba from Kwara State urged the federal government to send humanitarian relief to communities in Patagi affected by recent insurgent attacks. He commended the Nigerian Army for restoring calm to the area.
Of ongoing effort of the Nigerian Army and other security agencies, including police, force, Department of State Security Services, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and local vigilante group to combat the bandit and restore peace.
Also on the floor, Uyime Idem of Akwa Ibom State raised concerns over oil spills and environmental degradation in Ukanafong local government area, calling for urgent federal intervention.
Concerned that the persistent oil spillages have contaminated water sources, destroyed farmlands, killed aquatic life, and subjected residents to economic hardship.
Before removing the EFCC chairman past second reading, the proposal was sponsored by Yusuf Gaddi of Plateau State.
Cybercrime, cryptocurrency manipulation, illicit financial flows, terrorism financing, and real estate-based money laundering had become prevalent. Yet, the EFCC operates under outdated provisions that do not adequately address those new realities.
And in what could lead to a new state in Nigeria, the House also considered a bill seeking to create Ijebu State from present-day Ogun State. The bill, sponsored by Olufemi Ogunbanwo and 3 others, has now been referred to the Constitution Review Committee for further legislative work. From the National Assembly, Aniete Patrick, reporting for Global TV News. You're watching the live broadcast of AM News. When AM News returns, federal government introduces precision agriculture to improve soil fertilizer use. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is AM News on Global Television. In business, the federal government has taken another major step towards inclusive agricultural development with the validation of the revised National Gender Policy in Agriculture and its Strategic Action Plan for 2025 to 2030. Our correspondent reports that the policy aims to bridge gender gaps in access to land, finance, and decision-making across Nigeria's agricultural sector. The validation workshop held in Abuja brought together key stakeholders from government agencies and the National Assembly to development partners and Farmer Association. The revised policy led by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security is designed to promote inclusivity, equity, and productivity across the agricultural value chain.
Equal participation, equitable allocation of resources, and targeted support for women, men, young farmers, and persons with disabilities.
According to the ministry, the document is the product of a year-long consultative process involving more than 1,200 stakeholders across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Marcus Ogumbi, said the policy marks a milestone in mainstreaming gender equality into agricultural planning and budgeting.
This policy will serve as a guiding framework for our actions and decisions in ensuring that the needs and perspectives of women and other vulnerable groups are integrated into agricultural development.
For the chairperson of the National Gender Steering Committee and Food Systems Specialist at ActionAid Nigeria, Azubike Nwokoye, the policy reflects current realities, including the need to tackle gender-based violence and support young farmers.
This revised National Gender Policy in Agriculture, we reflected over the gaps we have seen. You know, as we have been working with the policy, there are contextual issues that are coming up. There are things that are changing that we need to also reflect and also put in some action.
The revised national gender policy in agriculture is expected to be presented to the National Council on Agriculture for endorsement, setting the stage for more inclusive agricultural growth and better food and nutrition security nationwide. Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV News. Staying with agriculture, Nigeria is taking major steps to boost crop productivity and reduce farming losses through a new soil health scheme designed to guide farmers on the right crops and fertilizers for their land. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, made this known to the media at the Nigeria Soil Health Information Systems Development Workshop in Abuja. He said the initiative will enable farmers to match crops with soil types, optimize fertilizer use, and reduce production costs, laying the foundation for precision agriculture in Nigeria. Our correspondent tells us more. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, says the initiative will end decades of guesswork in Nigerian farming. He explains that many farmers plant crops without properly knowing the condition of their soil and often waste expensive fertilizers that don't improve yields. Abdullahi added that the program is part of efforts to improve food production and promote what the government calls food sovereignty, ensuring Nigerians grow what they eat.
The National Farmer Soil Health Scheme is actually designed to help us move Nigerian agriculture to better productivity. And like you know, agriculture takes place on the soil, but we've never paid enough attention to the issue of soil.
The minister says data from soil testing will also help fertilizer companies produce crop-specific blends tailored to different regions of the country. Abdullahi notes that with 73 million hectares of arable land, Nigeria currently cultivates less than half of its potential, a gap he believes the new system will help close and attract more investors. He adds that the policy has already taken effect with field trials ongoing.
Now, what this will do for us is that the farmer will have higher yield, he will plant the right crop, get the right yield, but most importantly, he will reduce the cost that he normally gets based on just using any kind of fertilizer. Currently, a lot of our farmers just use any fertilizer blend and they broadcast it anyhow.
Supporting the effort is the Regional Hub for Fertilizer and Soil Health, located at IITA in Ibadan, along with the World Soil Information Center, ISRIC. The hub is working with 17 countries in West Africa and the Sahel, strengthening technology, scientific methods, and local capacity for soil health research.
So one of the roles of the hub is to ensure that NISYS, the Nigerian Soil Information System, is building on the best available technologies today, and that we continuously increase new technology, new science into NISYS so it remains up to date.
With better information, officials say Nigerian farmers can now make smarter decisions and secure improved harvests, helping drive national food security and productivity. Anieti Patrick, reporting for Global TV News. Lagos State Chamber of Commerce and Industry has expressed concern over Nigeria's rising public debt profile, warning that the current pace of borrowing is capable of undermining fiscal stability. In an address on the state of the economy, the association's president, Gabriel Idahosa, expressed mixed feelings over Nigeria's economic outlook. He stated that while there are signs of progress in macroeconomic stability and inflation moderation, the debt sustainability remains a concern. And on the foreign scene, United Nations Development Programme's Deputy Representative in Syria, Rahil Afghani, says the country must be swift about rebuilding in order to bring stability to the wider region. Agmofegbe reports that Afghani, during his visit to Geneva, noted that reconstruction is one of the most significant challenges facing Syria's new Islamist authorities after the overthrow of long-time ruler Bashar al-Assad last December.
The Syrian civil war, which erupted in 2011 with Assad's brutal repression of anti-government protests, killed over 500,000 people and devastated the country's infrastructure. The World Bank this week estimated that Syria's post-war reconstruction could cost up to $216 billion, further deepening the desperate need for essential supplies.
Look, first and foremost, the international community should definitely rush into rebuilding Syria because of the Syrian people first. Okay, that's one. Because we want to make sure that the Syrian people, they have a secure future, being able to rebuild their lives and being able to live in peace and security.
Afghani says the humanitarian burden is huge, stating that he could not put a price tag on rebuilding Syria, but described the needs as massive.
Right now we have about 16.5 million people are in need for humanitarian access. We have about 7.4 million IDPs and millions of refugees, obviously. The country has a huge issue of unexploded coordinates. The economy has contracted drastically. The GDP of Syria now, it's less than half of what it used to be before the conflict.
Across the country, he said governors had told him about the massive need for housing, schools and health centers, as well as electricity and water. Uji Agmofwegbe, reporting for Global TV News.
Has voted to elect a new president, with left-wing independent Catherine Connolly expected to beat her female challenger in an election marred by criticism of the limited choice. The context pitting Connolly against Heather Humphreys of the centrist Fine Gael party has also been tainted by calls to spoil ballots over the lack of right-wing candidates. A third center-right contender for the largely ceremonial role dropped out after controversy over unpaid rent. In sports, the stage is set for a thrilling football experience in Abuja as Barcelona legends take on African legends this Saturday. Being today's fans are looking forward to excitement, fun, and a wave of nostalgia. Here is our sport correspondent with more. A star-studded lineup of football icons has arrived in the nation's capital and are promising nothing short of entertainment. At a World Press Conference in Abuja, Barcelona legend Gatsga Mendieta says he's honored to be in Nigeria for the Champions Cup match at the MK Abiola Stadium. The former Spanish international reflected on his career, describing his professional debut as a dream come true, one that has shaped his future in football.
I'm sure it will be a fantastic game, and we hope everyone will have fun. The stadium will be full of fans, and everyone have enjoying the football party, and it will make it worthwhile for everyone.
Also speaking, former Super Eagles goalkeeper Dele Ayenugba says he can't wait to share the pitch with players he admired while growing up.
It's a great opportunity for me because I do watch them on the TV, and I think it's going to be a great game. We're going to have fun, and I think before the game we're going to give you jollof rice.
Organizers say the match is not just about football, but also about giving back to society. As the chief medical consultant of Atom Foundation, Dr. Zainab Mohammed, highlighted the foundation's focus on the well-being of young girls.
Sports is a universal language. That is exactly what it is. That is why we're using sports to capture people's attention and raise awareness on different things. Like I mentioned last year, we focused on eye care. This year, we're focusing on the girl child and water sanitation and hygiene.
One of its partners, the general manager of Transcorp Hilton, expressed excitement, saying the event helps impact local communities while predicting a 3-3 scoreline. And as the countdown continues, football lovers can look forward to global superstars including Ronaldinho, Javier Soviola and Jesus Angoy, while Africa will be represented by Emmanuel Adebayo and Nigeria's own JJ Okocha. Fans say they can't wait to experience legendary football right here in Abuja. Anie T. Patrick, reporting for Global TV News. And Trailblazers coach John C. Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former NBA player and assistant coach Demond Jones were arrested for alleged involvement in prolonged gambling conspiracies that rocked the NBA. The FBI said Rozier and other co-conspirators, some named and some not, provided inside information to sport bettors, including information on players who had no idea the valuable intelligence was being passed on. Ademola Lookman's turbulent summer transfer saga may be behind him, but his long-term future at Atalanta remains unclear despite his impressive return to the starting lineup. The Nigerian forward's current contract only runs to June 2027, and it is not clear how long he will remain in Bamako, although the turbulence of the last few months appear to have been left behind. And that's it on AM News. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Anie T. Patrick.